the WrestleMania next year will be moved from New Orleans to Las Vegas again this year. Jimmy, forgive me, I may have seen it differently, but I don't think WWE have they officially came out and actually said that it is moving to Las Vegas?
It, from what I've seen, I haven't seen it made official yet. That's the rumored destination, but uh, the story came out that they are moving it out of New Orleans, and they've to compensate, they have made New Orleans a destinations place for 2026 for several other events.
Mhm.
That being said, it's going to be interesting to see when it is made official. Again, Las Vegas seems to be the front runner, according to all the interweb sources. And that being said, it's interesting choice because I know a lot of people complained about Las Vegas being very expensive last year. Or this,
Mhm.
sorry, last year, this year. It
This past
isn't
year.
2026 yet. Let me get back in the DeLorean and go in reverse. Um, I find that interesting, but at the same time, I understand why, because they broke all kinds of uh, revenue records
Mhm.
with, of course, gate, with merchandise, with all the other stuff that's going on. So I understand it. It's just I don't know if it's a good look changing midstream, or did Rock go into business for himself and reveal that destination in February before the actual WrestleMania in Vegas took place. I don't know what happened, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If it is Vegas, okay, save up your pennies now. And if it's somewhere else, you're still going to have to save up your pennies, but maybe you won't need as many.
Let me
Yeah,
just say this.
go
Go ahead,
ahead.
Daniel. Go
No,
ahead.
you go
Nope.
ahead. You go ahead. You're good.
Let me just say this. We on our group text when all this happened and went down. I'm not trying to say I'm the man and I told you so, but I think this has everything to do with TKO and the UFC and their format.
Mhm.
100%. I understand business. I do. And I understand this is probably better for them financially, or they wouldn't do it if this is indeed what happens. But I will say, though, man, it is a little bit of a crock of shit to make an announcement and people actually make plans that you can still get out of, I guess. But still, the people that are close to that area that were planning on going and all, and then to find out they're, you know, thousands of different miles away the other direction. I mean, it's kind of crazy. But guys, we're in a new world with WWE with this TKO partnership, and I think that where's TKO? Where's the offices at?
Vegas.
Well, and see that's what I'm saying. So, and where are
Mhm.
80% of their pay per views? UFC's Las
Vegas.
Vegas, right? So I had said that originally. I think if y'all remember, if you don't, that's cool. But I did. I think it was RJ when you were saying it just kind of sucked for you because you were planning on going.
Yeah.
Um, and that was my comment back. I was like, guys, they're bought by TKO. So I mean, that's really all I want to say. Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's not been announced if it's Vegas or not, and all that. So we don't know. It could be another complete different city, and we're just speculating because of rumors and out there. But it's it's a obviously it's a money thing. It's money involved. This if it does go to Vegas, this would be the first time since WrestleMania 4 and 5 that it's been in the same city back to back. I guess there was 1 and 2, kind of that two technically, if you wanted to count 1 and 2 because of
New York
two.
and New Jersey. Was it Long Island or?
Well, new two was like in 3 places, but I guess one of those
Oh,
places
yeah.
because technically the same place as one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's you can do that. You can argue there, but it'd be interesting. And I mean, let's put it this way: I had a great time in Vegas when I was there. But it is a Vegas is one of those things where if I'm around a bunch of people that I like and friends and whatnot, I'm okay. But going to Vegas, just in Vegas, I'm not a Vegas fan in general. But around people that I like, it's all good. So,
It's one of
um,
those places, Daniel. When you say you go once, you've gone enough.
pretty much. I mean, once you've seen it, been there, done that, you're like, okay. But after a while, I mean, hey, it we'll see when the announcement happens. They're clearly not made the announcement yet. I think because of dates. I think they know they're moving it, but I think it's a matter of are they doing the same weekend that they already announced, or are they doing it a weekend before, the weekend after? I think that's where it comes down to.
And poor New
Hey,
Orleans gets money in the bank. As a
They're going to get in a
consolation
future.
prize.
They're going to get a future WrestleMania as well. So it'll
Are
happen.
they?
Yeah,
Are
they
they?
would. They
Allegedly.
mentioned that.
Well, and I think saw something, and this is just rumor. It's not. Can't remember where I saw it, but I think they mentioned something about if it is in Vegas, it's going to be the week after what they were planning on in New Orleans, which would be the 18th and 19th of April, I believe. Let me double check that because I'm pretty sure that. Let's see here. Look at the candidate. It would be the 8th. Yeah, it would have been the. It would be this 18, 19 of April of 26 would be
Yeah, it was originally the 11th and 12th in
correct.
New Orleans,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
Because I think
Well,
there's like a
it all
UFC or
depends.
something.
Yeah. Well, it all depends. Has anybody else got something scheduled that weekend, pay-per-view wise?
Which one?
Hmm.
Next year. I'm just,
Eight.
oh,
Which weekend? The weekend they
No,
originally
he's being
scheduled?
he's being funny.
He's being funny.
Brian got it. Brian got it.
Wah,
Brian
wah,
got it.
wah, wah, wah.
I got it now. It took me a
Okay.
second. I was being
I know.
serious.
I know.
I was
I'm
being
going,
serious for a moment.
no,
You
well,
would
I'm
you
going,
would have got
I
it
went
better.
off script. I
He'd have
went
got
off
it better in the
script a
truck, Jimmy. He'd have got it better in the truck because he'd have been more alert trying to drive and not wrecking into somebody.
No, I know
Either way.
I went off script. I called it out there and it talked about a different subject, but hey, who knows? Maybe that's a subject for another day.
There we go.
Hey, that
Counter
works.
programming, it's called, ladies and gentlemen.
We've talked about it before.
I
Hey,
know.
you can call it whatever you want. People are still going to complain about it.
You know what I
Um,
call it? Business.
Yeah.
And poking the bear. You want to poke the bear? Guess what? The bear is
Yeah.
going to growl and
Poke you back.
You know what?
I got to say one more thing about this. I know it's not on our run sheet. We're not talking about this. I'm going off script here, but people complaining about this counter programming stuff. This is
I've
nothing.
been it for years.
Yeah, but this is nothing. This is nothing. This is a small fraction of what they can actually do to counter. They don't
Mhm.
want them to go away. They just trying to teach them a little bit of a lesson. Shut your mouth, Tony Khan. Shut your mouth, everybody else on the roster. Concentrate on your own business, and everything will be fine. That's
I
all.
agree.
That's all.
Well, but the thing is a lot of these people forget or are too young to remember the Monday Night War era where
Mhm.
you'd have WCW and WWE run in the same town. Like, they'd be in Richmond, they'd run Richmond Coliseum, and they'd run another building
Norfolk
down the
Scope.
road.
Well, but
Norfolk
that's what
Scope.
WCW was doing
Yeah,
to
right.
WWE, and
Right.
WWE, but what WWE did they fired back, and then they
Mhm.
stopped doing it. So
Yeah,
Right.
maybe that's, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But I kind of I just picture Frank Costanza going, "You want a piece of me?"
you got it. Brian, man, we saw the TNA talent there, Ace Austin, is currently a free agent. One of those, guys that very recognizable there with the TNA brand. Somebody that you worked with and you were there. Thoughts on him becoming a free agent?
Hey man, what better time than now? Honestly, the options are out there. He is a very ultra talented kid. I don't know how old he is, but he's a kid. But anyway, how old, Daniel?
I don't know the exact age, but he's definitely a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I really don't think it'll take him that long to get a job. Honestly,
28.
28 years old. Yeah, like I said, he's a kid. I don't
Actually,
think it's going to take
older
him
than I
that
thought.
long. Well, actually, me too, to be honest with you. But yes, I think that he's testing the waters, and I love the guy. He was nothing but genuine and nice to me. But I think the current product that's out there now, as far as the wrestling landscape, good God, landscape goes, my God, it's just a good time for him to test the waters. And I really do think that it won't be long before he finds a job. I know he's a big Japan guy too. So if he went to Japan for, a year, half year, whatever it may be, and got his name really over, kind of like a AJ Styles kind of thing, and maybe not to that level, but I'm just saying to an AJ Styles kind of same way. I think AEW, WWE, NXT could definitely be somewhere that he winds up landing. So good luck out there, Ace Austin. And I like
Yeah.
you, buddy.
You always wish everybody the best of luck, but it's funny because when somebody becomes a free agent, someone at least has some name recognition, there's usually rumors floating around. There's usually a lot of scuttlebutt about where his next destination is going to be. I haven't heard anything, and that I
I
find
haven't either.
in today's day and age where there's no more kayfabe, brother. It seems odd to me that there is no somebody saying, well, so and so is interested, and so is interested, and this company's interested, or Ace Austin's looking at this. There's nothing. I haven't seen anything, but it's not like I actively search it, but at the same time, nothing popped up that
Well,
I've seen.
Jimmy, well, how often are they wrong when they do that? Maybe they're learning a lesson with what's his name with the guitar that's now at TNA. They said was going to the AEW, and that was wrong.
Elijah.
Mhm.
Yes, but that was wrong. So maybe they're learning that bad reporting makes them look like shit. So they shut their mouths until they figure it out. Maybe.
I hate that he's no longer around at the moment, but business is business, and you never know. You never say never. It doesn't because he's not there now doesn't mean he's not going to be back.
And he might.
Yeah. So I love Ace. He's a great kid, great talent. I wish him nothing but the best, and I'm sure, as we always say, as we said, you know, well, I know for a fact that I'll work with him again at Wrestling Revolver, but it won't be the last time him and I will work together. We'll see each other down the road. Is how we said it, and yeah. So we'll see what it takes. I wish him nothing but the best and good luck to him, and I hope sky's the limit for him, man. He's a great talent.
So, Dale, we saw some, few big things coming out a Saturday there with Saturday night's main event. It was later announced a match for Money in the Bank, but we saw the return of Cody Rhodes setting up a match at Money in the Bank with Cody and Jay Uso taking on Cena and Logan Paul. Uh, is this a way of, in your eyes, is this a way of kind of continuing both feuds in a decent way and, just kind of elevate these guys a little bit more?
No, what it is it's a way of bringing Cody back. It's a way of keeping him keeping him hot with the on the babyface side, but it's also a way of kind of extending the John Cena haven't Cena Cody's not getting his rematch yet. So it's extending that out. It's not really extending the same feuds, whatever with Logan and all that. It's just one of those like put a pin in it. And let's move it down and let's kind of come up with something creatively to kind of get us where we got to go. I'm sure something in this main event at Money in the Bank is going to move us to another level. Because think about this, guys. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view now is not about we don't want to. We don't really care about the title matches. Yes, we do, but the Money in the Bank is what we're watching it for. The Money in the Bank ladder matches. That's what we care. Yes, do we want to see the cash-ins and all that? Could it happen that night? Sure, it has before. Could it happen down the road? The main thing is we're focused on the Money in the Bank. So why not make the main gimmick of the show, be the Money in the Bank? And then let your champion both your champions kind of be involved in something else. But remember, if that's the main event of that match, then that means the Money in the Banks will happen beforehand, and we'll know who the man's holder is, and therefore, does he cash in on either one of those guys that night? There's so many different ways to play it, but again, it's just to kind of take us, kind of put a pin in the story, kind of move us along a little bit, and kind of put the focus on the right thing at the moment, which is the Money in the Bank ladder matches.
I,
And to
I
me,
don't mind that scenario that you laid out. Sorry, Brian. I
nope.
don't mind that scenario you laid out, but at the same time, I can't help thinking of two words for Cody's return: too soon. Not letting people sit on it for a while. I mean, I understand all those points that you made, Daniel, and then they're all very valid points. But for me, I think keeping him off TV a little bit longer would have benefited him in the story and that anticipation where people are going, oh man, come on. When is Cody coming back? For Christ's sakes, come back and,
But
avenge
but then
yourself.
but then again, could that turn into the wrong kind of heat? Not go away heat, but a similar thing where it's like I'm so mad now that he's not here, and then you're mad that he never came back when you needed him to. I don't know.
Mhm.
For a minute there, when you said two words, I thought you were going to say one word, four letters, yeet. But
No,
but anyways,
I get it, but at the same time, I just think Cody is now, in a place where he's almost Romanesque, where he could take that time off and still be over. I
Yeah,
think.
I
I
agree.
think. You time will tell if that lasts. But I think this is an opportunity, yeah, to elevate Jey Uso even more, if that makes sense. I mean, Logan Paul looks like his next contender, and I like that choice.
Me too.
I almost feel like,
Yeah.
damn, pull the trigger with that. But again, I
Why
said too
not?
soon. I said too soon, but I don't want to see Jay. I want to see Jay hold it for a little bit longer, man, at least.
Well, to me, Jimmy and Daniel, RJ, this is basically a throw off match, putting four big names on it for Money in the Bank for the pay per view. Nobody gets anything out of it except you do get a storyline afterwards. That's what it's all about. It's about getting the story afterwards. Otherwise, the match really don't mean shit.
And we don't know the finish yet. We don't
No,
know
we
the finish
don't.
yet, so
We
we
don't.
don't know what could happen at that match that leads us to, oh, that's why they did it, and because of
Right. That's my point. My point is, yes, it's definitely going to lead to another storyline or storylines moving forward. But otherwise, the match doesn't. There's no ramifications for this match.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So nothing's wrong with that. I'm just saying it's just a match with four guys with big names to help make it a big pay per view.
Or
And
we
that's
might
it.
end up being worked this whole time, and the final boss shows up, and we're like, "What the world?" And we're thinking, we
If he
thought
shows up
was.
at Money in the Bank, I'm gonna. Oh my god.
No, I'd be fine with the final boss. If Travis Scott shows up, I'll throw up my lunch.
Oh my god.
Well,
True.
you guys are talking big names. We also saw a big name come back as well. We saw Big Bronson Reed come back and join. I don't know what they're calling themselves. We'll call them Seth and Gang for better use of terms. With Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and now Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. Call them the Dangerous Alliance, whatever. But Jimmy, man, this is
Did you
they're
say
really
Sething gang? Is that what you
Seth
said?
and Gang.
Say that
Seth
again?
and Gang, Seth and Gang, Seth and
Oh,
Gang.
okay. Got you. Go ahead.
Seth and gang.
I know your headphones were messing with you earlier,
I,
but
I
come on.
just,
I didn't think I
I
was.
just
No, I heard you. I'm trying.
Dangerous Alliance 2.0.
Yeah,
There
there
you
you go.
go.
Okay, that's better. But Jimmy, man, this is really becoming a force to reckon with on Raw, with the three of them now.
Definitely. Are you kidding me? Bronson Reed returning was a shocker.
Mhm.
Nobody had that on their scorecard. And if you say you did, hold on, my bullshit meter is in red right now. All right. You're not fooling me. Put that shit away. Anyways, no, I liked it. I wanted the explanation, and I know some people said, well, we didn't get it on Monday night. We kind of did,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because Seth alluded to the fact that, wow, this guy did something to me that no one else can ever do. He took me out for several weeks.
So if
And
you
if he
can't
can
beat
do
them,
that to
join them,
me,
right?
what?
If you can't beat them, join them, right?
No, if he can do that to me, imagine what he could do to everybody else.
Oh, okay, got
I
it,
need
yeah.
this guy on my side,
Mhm.
you know. But I liked there was a little bit of tension briefly there. Braun Breaker was looking at him kind of side-eyed, going,
Mhm.
"Oh, do we need this guy?" I think something's brewing down the road. Marinate it though, let it go down the road. But I was surprised, mostly because I thought he was going to be involved in the Bloodline 3.0, I guess,
Right. Yeah.
instead of this group. So that threw me completely off.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they look. I think they look very impressive with Bronson. That's for sure. I think the group looks legit, real. Um, I. How do you not have an addition to a group with Bronson Reed and not say, "Holy shmoly"? Yes, it's going to be interesting, man. I like it.
Go ahead, Dan. I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
Daniel.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I said I was just going to say I agree. That's all.
Something that we said, I'll say it, holy shit, about was Trick Williams is your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Send Daniel this one because I'll go. I might talk. I might
It
finish the whole
is.
segment.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, I saw it coming. I saw it coming." You didn't see
Oh,
it coming. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I've seen people say, "Oh, I saw this coming. I had Trick. I bet on bet 360 that he was going to win or whatever. Daniel, man, I think this helps everybody out. I think. Am I wrong?
I will just say that again, WWE and TNA is proven that this partnership is great. It's awesome. It's exciting, and it's not going anywhere for a long time.
Would you say it's total nonstop action?
I would say it's not only total nonstop action, but it's the next best thing. Oh, I left the E out of the word next too, by the way.
Hold on. This isn't Trick NA.
Trick NA. No. Trick NA. That was. I like that. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one coming either. Trick NA. That was nice.
Trick is smart because that's a T-shirt just waiting to be made. And you're
100%.
right. This caught everybody off guard. I talked about the Bronson Reed being a surprise. Nobody saw this one coming. You saw the legit, real shocked look on people's faces when Trick Williams was the winner. When the bell rang, if somebody had to give Mike Rome an elbow there to say, "Hey, man, make the announcement. Go ahead."
Yeah,
yeah.
He was like, he was looking like, "Wait a minute, that wasn't on my run sheet. What the hell?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it may not have been.
Exactly. They probably didn't tell very many people this was happening, and that's the good thing about it. That's what I love about it. People getting got. You know what I mean? So I think it's good. I think this is going to add more interest into what's coming next. Who's going to be the one to chasing? It looks like Mike Santana is next on line, and I'm a big Mike Santana fan.
Well, they
especially after
have
this
a match.
past
They have a
weekend.
match next Tuesday
Right.
on
NXT.
NXT. So for the
does?
TNA
Who
World
does?
title.
Oh,
And
okay.
correct me if I'm wrong. I think TNA just put out today that Trick Williams will be making an announcement on Impact.
We will hear from Trick Williams on
Or
Impact.
hear from him.
Yes.
Hear from him,
We
Yeah.
excuse me.
Make sure you tune into Impact this week. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Tune into it
And
this week.
and people like the people complaining, is this partnership being mutually beneficial? Is WWE benefiting more than TNA? I think they're both benefiting as much as each other.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what I'll say to touch on this before we move on. This is great business for both. And I don't care what anybody says. Don't feed me the bullshit. Well, WWE took their title. You know what? It elevates that title now. It elevates that title and it puts asses in seats. Not only that, Joe Hendry's so over, that loss doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. Because I guarantee you ask the same Joe Hendry fans, are you still a fan? They're not going to say no. He lost a trick.
This partnership is elite, man. It's elite.
Good. I hope it is. And I love it.
See what you did there.